You make a compelling case that your art is an extension of you. Your spiritual self is an extension of you through the art, but you're also presenting yourself. The education to the community is presenting yourself as well as your art, with the way that you are withstanding this onslaught. I would think that that's got to influence people, that you have done this, stood in the face of all of these setbacks, and not only maintained your determination, but also your sense of grace. That strikes me as very special. And as you speak, I have not heard you speak before. I haven't heard it then either. It's not a trace of anger that I hear. Is that true?
That's true. I try to keep the anger and the frustration, I try to keep it in its proper place. Anger has a way of killing you. Has a way of destroying you. I've been there too. I've been there. I've been hated. And as I said earlier, it's been times I hated myself. As I sit here having this conversation with you today, my mind is taking me back. And I remember the conversation we had at the restaurant up in Ann Arbor, and I shared with you something that I don't really usually talk about, but I went through a situation when I was 15. I was playing with a gun, and a gun discharged, and accidentally I shot my cousin. It devastated me. Wow. I was hated. And my mom tried to hide me. And she was hurt, and it was my first cousin, her sister's son. Mm. And it was so much confusion at that time. So much
family pain.
Yeah, a lot of family pain. And I was froze. I was froze in my mind, in my heart. And I was trying to reverse what had happened. I was trying to take it back. I was trying to, that day, I was trying to make that day, recreate that day, that moment. It was on a Friday night. Mm. And I remember the police coming to the house, and they took me away. And it was at night, and it was unbelievable. You talk about darkness.
It's dark.
I've been there. I wanted to kill myself. Tried to do it. Tried to run. I would run every day. Run. Mm-hmm. Heard that voice in my head that was telling me I wasn't shit. My aunt told me that. And you hear something for so long, you start to believe it. Mm-hmm. And my mom, in the basement of her home, the basement became my cave. I would hide in the basement. There was a time I couldn't go out in the daytime. I didn't want people looking at me, talking about me. Mm-hmm. People didn't want me around, family folks. So I've been there.
Unwanted.
Yeah. And I was crying out, I was screaming out. I wanted people to want me. I wanted people to love me. I wanted people to understand. And people have their own thoughts. Mm-hmm. Little young kid did something that was so unheard of.
Yeah.
And then you go and you're trying to get people to understand, and they couldn't hear you. They couldn't hear you because they was hearing themselves. Now I look back and I can understand. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that.
That was the time I couldn't talk about it. It was a time that it was too painful. And you grow up and you realize you got to get it out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a lot to do with that anger and frustration. I don't want to be angry anymore. I've done that. Been there.
Yeah, you've been as dark as it can go and come out the other side.
Mm-hmm. But the art was always my life. The art. The art of creating. The art of drawing. I hated school when I was a kid. But I loved my art classes.
Mm-hmm.
Hated it. But I would go in and draw. But I had this one teacher who said to me, she said, there's something inside of you. And so that was another person I was able to see it. There was something inside of me. And then when I was in art school, I had this professor by the name of Charles McGee who said to me, I want you to go deeper. And that's before I started the Heidelberg Project. He said, there's something inside of you that's waiting to come out. Go deeper and deeper.
Yeah, I have an image as you're talking of going so deep that you went right past the pain
I did.
and the anger and into this different sense of yourself, belief, hope, God.
Doc, that pain was so excruciating. Oh, that pain. I remember one time I was out to Belle Isle and I was standing on the bridge and I was trying to build up the courage to jump off the bridge. Mm-hmm. I remember I was at a party one year and I was getting high. I was drinking, smoking, and dropped some mescaline and THC, and I was on I-94. I was trying to make it home. I was so cool. I was so out of it. I came up on the ramp on Trumbull on I-94, made a U-turn and went back down. I don't know how I made it. I was tripping. I was trying to escape. And I remember I was going the wrong way on I-94. Cars were blowing at me. And I was tripping in my mind.
Going anywhere you could.
I remember seeing Jesus when I came up on the exit, Trumbull. He was huge. He was on his cross. And I remember seeing him, and I turned around, made a U-turn. So I remember going back down and all these cars coming up my way, blowing their horns and lights coming at me. And here I am today. It was not my time.
You had something to do.
I see it.
Yeah. And Heidelberg's the thing you're doing. But there's more.
I was in school. Our instructor said, what do you want to do with your artwork, really? I had to really think about that. In April of 1986, April 6th to be exact, I saw it. I had this epiphany. I saw the Heidelberg Project in my mind. And I went out there. And the first thing I did, I started cleaning up the neighborhood. I started cutting the grass and cleaning up. And people in the neighborhood thought I'd lost my mind. They said, I got gone crazy. Yeah, I remember one of the neighbors calling the cops on me, and the cops said...
For cleaning up.
For cleaning up.
Uh-huh.
And the two officers came and they said to me, sir, are you okay? I said, I'm doing great. I said, I'm just cleaning up the neighborhood. I said, because I have a plan. And they said, fine. I did something that most people was afraid to do. To go out there and to go against what was happening and to do something else. You probably heard me say in some of my talks that 2 + 2 = 8.
Right.
I was creating a new reality. I was going beyond. I was thinking outside the box. I want to go a little deeper. I want to share something with you, and I hope you can. I'm pretty sure you can. I heard it. I heard that house. I hear it. It's like when I'm in the studio and I'm working on this artwork, I'm here listening. And I like to come out here at night when the staff has gone home and Janine is upstairs, and I'm down here in my space, in my cave, once again.
Another cave, but different kind.
That's right. And I hear it. And what I hear is so beautiful. I hear it to the point that it helps me to see it. And then I've learned to let myself go, and it takes me where I need to go.
It's like you surrender and let the sound, the voice guide you.
Yes. Yes. I'm not afraid of that voice. And it takes me, because it's a beautiful voice. It helps me to see it in my mind, my third eye of understanding. And, the subconscious kicks in, and it takes me beyond.
So it's an opening,
It is an opening.
an opening of possibilities that
Are
you
limited.
go with, that aren't you.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful.
It's like you're the vehicle then.
I am the vehicle. Yeah. The conduit. The vehicle. Being used for a greater purpose. And I'm so excited. And it's like right now, sitting here, if I was to die tomorrow, I don't have no regrets. No, I'm not afraid of it. And that's something that the great philosopher Socrates says, and I quote, he said, if you're afraid of dying, you're not living. Not afraid of it. I welcome it.
Well, you've walked with death and you've walked beyond it a few times. To find a different place.